Video games have grown and evolved from the primitive time of Pong machines to the Blockman sprites to the polygons to being able to count the hair follicles on a character's head. According to the numbers, it's grown tenfold and has surpassed all forms of entertainment, including movie cinema, by more than double. Games are selling in the tens of millions, and the trailer for Grand Theft Auto 6 set records for views. It seems pretty clear more people are into video games than ever before. But is this the case? Some have attributed the Switch's success to video games being more popular. But there is a question many people are not asking when looking at the data on games being more popular. What games? Looking at every console generation, there were really only two generations which were in any way competitive. SNES versus the Genesis and the PS3, 360, Wii era. Every other generation saw one console running away with the market. In terms of console game sales, they've been mostly the same throughout history. What has changed significantly is mobile gaming. Mobile gaming has continued to grow and expand and shows no signs of stopping. Even with this, however, mobile gaming isn't going to overtake console gaming, as they offer totally different gaming experiences. Mobile gaming centers around simple gaming experiences, which are suitable for short sittings and brief interactions, while console gaming involves games which you get fully engrossed in and take many hours to get through. Games like Temple Run, Angry Birds, or Candy Crush aren't the same as Grand Theft Auto, Tears of the Kingdom, or Starfield. These games have no real overlap other than dealing with microtransactions. In-game purchases are and have been making their way into console-style games. This is where a lot of the extra revenue is coming from. It isn't so much people are buying more games as it is people are spending way more money on the games they already have. Ironically, the most expensive games are free. Games designed to get you invested deep enough where the sunk cost fallacy kicks in to make you spend money on advancing in the game. I played these types of games myself, until I stopped. It just didn't make sense to spend money to be at the top of the leaderboard or progress through a game. Investing in the game and seeing how those at the top who are so far ahead of you would have you spending thousands of dollars a month to get into that point to be able to stay there. I have a sneaking suspicion the people who own and run these games set up accounts to be at the top of leaderboards to get people to chase them, but I have no way of proving that. Bottom line, it's not so much about more people getting into gaming. Rather, gaming is getting into more people. It's about ubiquity rather than popularity. Smartphones are now as commonplace as car keys. Games like Candy Crush, Homescapes, or Pokemon Go are easy to get yourself into through a device everyone carries around with them every day. You don't even need to go to the casino anymore, as many gambling apps are now on your phone. You can become a millionaire or put yourself into crippling debt without ever leaving your bedroom. None of these numbers are seeing more people go out and buy consoles and games. Even with the growing popularity of mobile gaming, consoles aren't going away. You still have systems selling in the hundreds of millions with games selling in the tens of millions. Spider-Man 2 on the PS5 sold 11 million copies in less than 6 months. There's a mobile game experience and a console game experience. They are very much different and will coexist into the near future. You have both types borrowing from each other, with console games having more and more in-game purchases, and mobile games like Genshin Impact, Star Rail, and Tunic. So, are more people playing video games? Sure, just not necessarily on a gaming console, unless you want to call your smartphone a gaming console, which I would disagree with, but I digress. One of the reasons Nintendo has been able to grab many of these people, despite the popularity of mobile gaming, is they make fun games which are simple to get into. People don't care for complex games. They want something they can pick up intuitively, proven by the type of mobile games that are popular. The Switch being handheld can't be ignored either. Like I've said, gaming is now on the move. Microsoft has found a new way to succeed in the gaming space without depending on a gaming console. Sony has been looking to make that transition, but haven't stepped fully into it yet. For those who want a traditional console with games, Nintendo will be the only one left. Neither Microsoft nor Sony would be hurt if their gaming divisions went under. They would just close up shop and move on with their other revenue streams, similar to how LG didn't cease as a company when they stopped making smartphones. Nintendo's whole business has been games, and it's been this way going back to when they were making playing cards. They're similar to Apple in how everything hinges on the success of one product line. Some argue Nintendo got kicked out of the home console market and had to go handheld. With where the gaming consumer is gravitating, the home console makers are the ones being kicked out of the gaming industry. Microsoft and Nintendo are out ahead of the curve in different ways. Nintendo has continued to invest in a market they have been wildly successful in going back to the Game & Watch in the early 80s and continue to dominate today. Microsoft has taken the approach of making their gaming properties as accessible as possible on as many platforms as possible. Those unable to adapt will soon die off. As much as Nintendo gets demerited for being more about handheld consoles than home consoles, the market has consistently responded positively to Nintendo's handheld offerings going all the way back to the very early 80s, and has Nintendo at the forefront of another evolution in gaming. Living room gaming is being phased out. Video games are now mobile. As far as console gaming goes, Nintendo handhelds lead the way.